earlier this year, a man was, a Karen tribesman who lives nearby, was tending to his cattle, and he looked up and he saw 2 wild tigers bearing down upon him. So obviously he turned and ran, and then blocking his path was a 3rd tiger. Almost unbelievable. So he ran up a tree, he got mauled, his 2 dogs were killed, but he survived, and we want to meet that man.
We headed out from Kanchanaburi in a westerly direction early this morning, and our first stop was Prasat Mern Singh Historical Park, a Khmer outpost. That was a pretty lovely place. And thereafter, I drove up to Hellfire Pass, a very, very moving and emotional place. Both of these videos I'll put out pretty soon, but at a later date. For now, we're on a certain mission. So thereafter, we headed up into the hills and we started on the trail up to Ban i-thong, right on the Myanmar border. And to get there, we had to go up the infamous road of 399 bends. Before this road was built, elephants used to carry ore taken from the tin mines that were located up in these hills in the 1940s, 50s and 60s. Before the road was built in the mid-50s or any kind of dirt track was built, the elephants would spend a few days taking the ore down to the river Kwe Noi, where they would be loaded onto boats, and then it would take either 2 days or 5 days, depending whether it was upstream or downstream, to get to Kanchanaburi. So that means at least a week to get the product to Kanchanaburi, never mind onto Bangkok. Need some banjo music soon, don't we? That's what we really need.
Yeah, he's getting up that kind of area.
Yeah.
Looking at the elephant sign right now, I don't think Dad will have told you the story, but in year 7, when we went to Khao Yai for the first time, we went in our school bus, right?
Yeah.
We were the last bus in line, the other 2 buses went through, and an elephant walks out in front of our bus and starts nudging up and like...
Oh really? It started nudging up to it, right?
Yeah, we were walking all around the bus like...
You must have got videos, that kind of thing.
Well, we were like, how old was year 7? Like 12?
Oh yeah, he was 11, 12, so you weren't thinking about social media or anything.
Sure, yeah.
We were bricking it, panicking for our lives. We were all screaming, I love my parents!
There's some nasty footage of them elephants just sitting, bouncing up and down on cars at Khao Yai.
Do you see what that sign said back there though, Jake?
What?
It said, be careful between 6 PM and 6 AM, because that's when the elephants come and eat.
Yeah, yeah.
So...
yeah, they're always more
I'd be lucky that elephant on our van just walked off.
Yeah, you are. Because as Carl said, there is some horrific footage out there, mate.
There's footage of it when it's just, just decides to bounce up and down on cars' bonnet.
Yeah.
Lovely road.
And charging motorbikes and... yeah, I'll take it nice and steady for you, Jake, don't worry. Yeah, I'm going to anyway, mate. It's stupid not to take a road like this steady, mate.
Oh, right, this is where we got knocked back last time.
They're not even out today.
Yeah.
The panic has gone. Check post. Check 1 2, check 1 2. So when you drive around here, then there's an elephant in the road. Make a great rally track, wouldn't it? For those nut rally drivers.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing hill climbs in England. We could call this a hill climb. I just wouldn't try and win the race. Here we are above the clouds. We really are in wildlife territory here. There are many wild elephants and A lot of other stuff as well. We're about 15 k's out of Pilok, and we're pretty high up in the mountains, as you can see. Look, I mean, you can see right down there to the mountains and to the lake down there. We were going to go stay on a houseboat down there, but one, we couldn't get to the houseboat, and two, you don't really want to be coming up and down this road too many times. So I'm going to head into Pilok mining town very soon and find somewhere to stay. The road, although it's been built up a lot over the last year and a half, does get pretty bad at this stage for about a 10, I'd say about a 10 kilometre stretch. It's you just have to go really slow. Parts of the road are collapsed, and there's a lot of potholes, a lot of which are unavoidable, so you just have to go really slow. I'm very sorry I didn't film this. My son, for the first time, he's had travel sickness before, but he got severe travel sickness coming up some of these 399 bends, and by the time we got to this viewpoint, actually he was in a bit of a state, so we had to stay up there for about an hour, let him recover for a little bit before we continued our journey about another 10 kilometers. This is called Pilok mining, or Pilok mine viewpoint, and then we continued our journey through some of the potholes and stuff into the town. So I'll pick up this video again a couple of hours later. Here we are in the town of i-thong, right on the Burmese border. It was quite a journey today, up from Kanchanaburi, up the windy roads of the hills, and we really are up here in the wilds now. This is the abandoned community, the Pilok mining community. This place was established in 1940 when it was discovered that sort of Karen and Burmese workers or locals had been coming in here and taking tungsten and tin and selling it to the British soldiers. The local Thais saw that and decided they needed a piece of that action. Now, allegedly, I think a lot of the locals who originally did it were perhaps disappeared in mysterious circumstances, and originally this town was called Pilok, as in a ghost place. Now, these days it's called Pilok, it's totally different, but labourers and adventurers came from as far afield as Burma, Thailand, India, and a few different places. In fact, Auntie Glenys, who we might go and meet today or tomorrow, came all the way from Australia in the 1960s. Anyway, in 1986, the tin market crashed overnight, putting all of these mines out of business. All of the workers and all their families. There was one mine alone, Somsak Mining, had 600 workers. This mine, Pilok Mine, had over 600 workers too, and there were many other concessions in the area. And just like that, the mining boom was over. And local Thais love to escape the hustle and bustle of Bangkok and the really hot, steamy streets and come up here. The weather's a little bit better, the temperature's a little bit cooler, beautiful breeze. You can smell the natural air. We're literally a couple of kilometres here from the Burmese and Thai border, and actually, as I might have mentioned in the previous video, we're here on a wild tiger hunt, or more specifically, we're here to find the guy that got attacked by 3 wild tigers early this year and survived to tell the tale. Now, we've just done some questioning back in the old mining town there. We've been informed that he's a local celebrity. Everybody knows this dude. He's a Karen guy with no surname. Problem is, he lives in a place where there's no road. He lives in a place near Pilok. And actually earlier this year, about 2 months ago, footprints of tigers were spotted just outside the village, about a kilometre outside. And to add to the mystery, there's also a 3-legged tiger on the hunt. After the guy got attacked by the tigers, a load of camera traps were set up, and one of them caught this camera and ripped off its paw. I've put a couple of links in there to Bangkok Post where you can see that, but ripped off its paw. Now, this tiger is dangerous because it's not going to go after wildlife anymore because it's got 3 legs. It's fundamentally a cripple, so it's going to go for easy target. It's going to go for livestock, buffalo and people. So tomorrow we're going to go down to the reservoir and chat to the geezers down there with boats, and we're going to negotiate a boat trip. The boat trip takes over an hour, right the way up the reservoir into the jungle on the other side to a place called Pilok. And when we get there, we're going to find this dude and hopefully we're going to interview him. We might need a third party for translation because he might not speak any Thai. We might have to grease his palms a little bit, and ideally he'll take us to the place where he got attacked by tigers, but we shall see. Anyway, tomorrow's the big day, and my plan is not to get eaten by a tiger tomorrow and come out the other end as tiger excrement. Wish me luck. Here, fishy, fishy. Beautiful, beautiful clear water, and listen to those cicadas and crickets and everything. That's the sound of the jungle. Camera incoming. So Carl, tomorrow we're going to go on a real miraculous adventure, aren't we? We're going to take a boat and we're going to go through the jungle. Why?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it because earlier this year a man was a Karen tribesman who lives nearby, was tending to his cattle, and he looked up and he saw 2 wild tigers bearing down upon him. So obviously he turned and ran, and then blocking his path was a 3rd tiger. Almost unbelievable. So he ran up a tree, he got mauled, his 2 dogs were killed, but he survived, and we want to meet that man and interview him.
Perfect. Let's go. Lovely little local place. You can just sit in any of these places and grab. This one's more of a morning spot. This is traditional old coffee. I don't know if they do it through the sock or not, but you never know. Bloody car. And like everywhere outside of Bangkok, you start smiling at people and they smile right back. Do love a sticker, look.
Spend half its time up in the clouds.
It's a big biking area. A lot of people come here by bike, by motorbike. If you're watching my mate Hugh, then get yourself up here ASAP, mate. I think you really like it. There's a lot of bikers. Nice little spot, mate. Oh, I could spend a whole morning here just drinking coffee. That's how you protect yourself from the rain, look. And it goes on down there, and you can go down some stairs and on a bit further, but I think I'm going to go down into the market in a minute, look. But just a real old traditional mountain sound, it's beautiful. Let's just go to the end of the street. I'll turn around, I'll take you through the market into the centre of town. Instead of a town square or a market square, we have a market pond, or a small lake. If you find any of these places not open, shops, guest houses, anything, there's a phone number on the front of every business, so you just give them a call. It's all good. You can see there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with the camera here. You don't need to adjust the screen. It's just, it's mist, it's fog. Still a little humid, but it's a lot colder than it is down on the central plains of Thailand, let me assure you. That's pretty much the end there. We can walk down through the alleyway. You've got a lot of the old original buildings as well from, I guess, when it was a proper mining town, eh? You can almost see the mist and the fog coming across, look. This can get proper spooky in the evening. Like I said, what type people like to do, they rent out the old Mon lanterns and wander through town and soak up the atmosphere, the mist mingled with the flames and the light of the paraffin lamp. It's quite extraordinary.
It's more like Thai than I've ever seen before.
They've rounded it up, mate, they've rounded it. But yeah, like I said, as Bald and Bankrupt called it, squiggle, squiggle, squiggle. Okay, we've escaped down into the market. Which, as you can see, is mostly Thai tourist tat. There you go, get that whole outfit for 400 baht though. Hey? You'll be the belle of the ball. And that's where we're staying here. Here is the market square, look, the market pond, shall we say. That's it, that's the high street, and all these guest houses here just go along here. Look, we're staying just around here, look. Okay. This is what all the Thais like to do here. They get these padlocks or whatever they want to call them, these wooden things here. Look, it's usually couples and they write their names on there and they leave them. It's just one of those little quirky romantic things that Thais like to do. Quite a few places like this where I have keys or padlocks or something like that. As you can see, there's absolutely thousands, if not hundreds of thousands. The Thais, they do like to jump on a bandwagon, and when something that makes them happy, they just go for it. What a beautiful little view down there as well. Wow, this is the town that keeps giving. Every time you go down a little alleyway, you come across some new little spot, like a new little stream or something, you know. Beautiful. When you get over this side, you park on this side and then you go over this bridge, or you go over that bridge round, and and through. That's where you go. Got the original bridge, it's not used anymore. This was the bridge back in the day that was used for the mine. Look at that.